First things first, if you like cars and you don't like minis, then you have a problem. How can you not like a car that looks like it's always smiling at you? A Mini is something that when you get behind the wheel of, it always puts a massive smile on your face. Just look at the dials, look at the infotainment system, at these buttons, they look like they were taken out from a spaceship. Everything has been thought out to perfection. Each detail on this car just adds to its personality. Anyway, let's get down to business. The new Mini Clubman. Do you remember the old one?
That 5-door wonder with 2 regular ones, 1 side door just like in a Rolls, opening the wrong way, and 2 vintage freezer ones at the back. Well, I thought it was brilliant. If anyone else beside Mini would have tried to do this, I would have been on the floor laughing for days. But coming from them, it felt so natural, so right, so typically British. But even so, you do realize how much cojones was needed from BMW's part in order to launch a car with a missing door, right?
And while the old car was basically just a stretched mini hatchback, this new one is a different animal. It's based on the same platform as the very handsome 2 Series Active Tourer. It's 27 centimeters longer, 3 centimeters wider, and thankfully or unfortunately, it all depends on how you look at it, the back doors are now normal.
The interior is also quite different from the one in the hatch, although at first glance you'd be forgiven for thinking that they're the same. The central console is bigger, it's now got the front armrest integrated in it, and the classic handbrake has been replaced with an electronic one. Even the dashboard and the door panels are brand new, so therefore we're dealing with a quite different car to the one it replaces.
As usual, when building your Mini, you're overwhelmed with trim levels and engine choices. And this is no different. Beside the John Cooper Works edition, which is still in the works, you can choose between basically anything. Starting from the basic 1 model and going up to the Cooper S All-4 variant, which comes with all-wheel drive. Today we're driving the Cooper D trim level that's equipped with a 2-liter turbo diesel engine capable of producing 150 brake horsepower and 330 Newton meters of torque. It goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 8.6 seconds and can reach a maximum speed of 210 kilometers per hour. And in my opinion, this trim level and engine is the best buy for a small family. It's got great performance while maintaining very good fuel consumption. And from my experience driving it, I think those numbers aren't telling the whole truth because the car seems more agile than the numbers suggest. I drove lots of Minis over the years, and each and every time I was very impressed by the handling and how well they grip to the road. And they always gave me a massive smile on my face each time I drove one.
But when I got the news that I was gonna test the new Clubman, I immediately thought, oh my, this could very well be the first Mini that doesn't drive very well. Because let's face it, 124 kilograms of added weight surely will have a negative impact on the handling, right?
Well, not really. And I don't know how they pulled it off, but they did it. The fun is still there. They kept the lower seating position. All 4 wheels are pushed to the edges of the car. The steering is as precise as ever, and the go-kart handling is definitely present. And once you put the car in sport, the steering weights up quite nicely and it's even more direct than before. And thanks to the adaptive dampers fitted to this car, the suspension also stiffens up a bit, but if you're riding on quality tarmac like we're doing now, you can hardly tell the difference. But the most important thing about this car is the way it handles corners. You just turn the steering wheel and you feel the car rotate along its axis, and because of basically zero body roll, it slingshots you out of the corner with speeds that shouldn't be possible in this type of car. Of course, if you put your foot down in the middle of the corner like a moron, the front end will lose grip and the car will begin to understeer. It's still a front wheel car, no doubt.
And even though this is the biggest Mini ever made, it weighs almost 1.4 tons, the larger wheelbase and added weight doesn't seem to affect the handling at all. It's very precise, very responsive, and because all of the engine's torque is available from low down, it's also quite agile. And all of this is happening aboard the most comfortable Mini ever made. Yep, I think this is the very first time we can use the words mini and comfortable in the same sentence. On the never-ending potholes from Romania, just put the car in comfort mode and the suspension softens quite nicely, and the very well-known mini stiffness is completely gone. Do the opposite, however, and put the car in sport mode, the suspension hardens just enough to make a journey through the canyon roads that much more fun.
But never in a million years would I have imagined that I will have so much fun in a Clubman. This is a brilliant little car.
We drove the car for a couple of days and the result was quite a good average fuel consumption. Just 6 liters per 100 kilometers, which is actually really good considering the engine performance figures.
From my point of view, as a family man who loves driving, the new Clubman is a much better option than the regular hatchback. It's got more interior space, more luggage space, and all of that without compromising driving fun and excitement.
Unfortunately, the car has 3 issues, and yes, you've guessed it, it's all about the barn doors at the back. First of all, there's quite a large pillar in the middle of the rear window, put there for security reasons, and if you're thinking of driving around with 2 adults in the back, you might as well throw your rear view mirror away, cause you won't see anything through it. Then there's the problem with the parking. If you're not careful and you stop much too closer to another car, or to a wall for example, you won't be able to completely open the rear doors. And finally, those wonderful rear doors can only be closed in a certain order.
I love how BMW managed to keep the Mini spirit alive. It's done very little things to the design and decided to build different types of cars for their customers as they eventually mature and go through life. Would I choose a Clubman against a 1 Series? Probably. Would I choose a Clubman if I had the choice to buy a Golf or an Audi A3? Well, of course. The Mini is more fun to drive, it's better to look at, in my opinion. And the pièce de résistance, this interior can never be matched by the Volkswagen Group. Yes, it is more expensive, but as you say, the devil is in the details, and details cost money. And if you want a car that stands out from the crowd, has some history behind it, and has lots of personality, well, Mini is the obvious choice.